anyway, this guy is no stranger to our club, but we're excited to have him. He came to Stillwater in 2011, and it doesn't seem like it's been that long, but he's made an impact here, created a great event. It's been a great community impact. He's the founder of the Mid South and the director of Stoke of Mid South. Here's Bobby Wintle.
Oh man, thanks a lot. Appreciate you. All right, check. Can you guys hear me okay? Is that on? Is that good? Cool. Who here has not heard me talk about the Mid-South in public before? Any hands? Okay. Cool. I think this is like the 5th time maybe that I've had to say. Anyway, thank you guys for having me back. I'm sorry, I'm sorry I'm boring and have nothing fun to talk about every time I come, so I really appreciate it. But before I got started, I don't know, I was just sitting here and I thought of this, and I think sometimes the job of city government is a kind of a thankless position. And I saw that Norm is here. And Norm, honestly, man, I just want to publicly thank you for all the help that you've given us and the path that you laid for us to have a successful event and the processes and people you put in charge at the city. So without Norm and without the city of Stillwater, the Mid-South would not exist. And it definitely wouldn't exist in the way that it is right now. And the police, Royce and Stephanie Kinder at the city right now have done nothing but remove barriers and obstacles for us to have a successful event. And so anyway, I just want to say, Norm, you were the head of that whole crew whenever we really started to grow, and when none of us knew what we were doing. We still kind of don't know what we're doing. But man, Norm, thank you so much, man. I really appreciate it. Okay, so next week, if you're going out of town, you're going to miss out on a lot of people in spandex in town and tight clothes. You're going to miss out on all the roads downtown being closed. You're going to miss out on not being able to park at a lot of places probably. And if you want to go to Stone Cloud and get a beer, you might have to wait in line. But if you're staying in town, I'll go through the schedule of events of everything that's happening next week. But to give you a rundown, what the Mid-South is at its core is a cycling race that also has distances that are not a competitive race. So we have a 12-mile, we have a 50-mile, and we have the premier portion of the event is a 100-mile gravel race, all on dirt roads, Payne County. In the past, of course, Noble County, Logan County. This is year 13. Wow. Year 13. Can you believe it? I can't believe it. Crystal and I moved here from Kansas. We moved here. We were going to college at Emporia State University. We moved here in September 1st of 2011. And then in a month and a half, we had District Bicycles open. I was 26 years old. We had a 1-year-old daughter. And we had this crazy little idea that, oh, hey, if the dirt roads are cool when we get to town, let's see if we can stitch together 100 miles and we'll do a dirt road race so people have something to kind of chase as a carrot to stay fit through the wintertime to do all the other events that are happening in the spring and summer. Well, little did I know, not only do we have 100 miles of gravel roads, but we have thousands of miles of gravel roads. And we change the route every 2 years. So this year, we are headed back to Guthrie for the second time as a halfway point for the 100-mile. Guthrie was our halfway point in 2017 and 2018. And the last 2 years, we had gone back to Perry. Perry was the first time we'd ever repeated a halfway point town. So we've had Pawnee, we've had Perry. Kearney was year 1 and 2. We've had Guthrie, and we've had Perkins and Perry. And the Guthrie one is really special to me. Southwest corner of town, as everyone may very well know, southwest is where all the hills are at. It's where a lot of the, I call them C roads. I don't think they're B roads. They're like minimum maintenance C roads. Maybe some of them are D roads. And to me, that's the definitive, like quintessential, it's the definitive roads of Stillwater, Oklahoma to me. And it makes me feel like what it must have felt to kind of stumble onto this area maybe for the very first time, however many, 150, 200 years ago. And even further back than that, the roads feel old and they feel like they're drawing you in. And when we started to put this route together for the first time, whenever we did the first one in 2012, 2013, I was like, I think that these roads are cool. I hope everyone else thinks that these roads are cool and that they want to come do this event. Well, We broke a record this year on registration. We are at 4,120 participants from 49 states, and DC, the only one that we're missing is Hawaii. If anybody knows anyone from Hawaii, in the next 5 days, I'll give them a free registration. So we can get all 50, and we have 10 countries this year. We have Ireland, Australia, flying all the way from Australia, 24-hour flight. We have the UK, multiple from the UK, multiple from Mexico, multiple from Canada, Monaco outside of France, US, and I'm forgetting the others off the top of my head, but these people are all coming here next week to ride on these roads and to experience downtown Stillwater in a way that I think that couldn't happen without the support of this community. And so again, just thank you. I'm blown away, and I can't believe that we have this many people coming. We sold out in 12 hours in September for registration, and we are in the top. We're definitely the third, if not the second biggest gravel road race on the planet. It's unreal. It's unreal. And I'm so proud of it. I don't know how to explain what this event means to me, to Crystal, to my family, to our community family. Sarah's husband, Tyler, has been our manager for 10 years. Tyler Seams at District, and like we're kind of inseparable. We have dinners together. We go on rides together. We throw live concerts together at Stone Cloud, and we just feel like this is our home, and this is where we want to dig our heels in the hardest. And we want to make this community a place where we want to live and where we want to spend our time and where we want to invite others to spend their time also. That being said, in the last 48 months, 2 different families have moved to town just because of the gravel road riding kind of community and the bike shop. I'm not saying they've moved here because of the bike community, but I think it was kind of number one on their list. And I think it's still happening. We still are getting people talking about moving to town because of how much they love it here when they're here for the race. And that's also mind-blowing to me. But I want to tell you guys about something, not a program, but a piece of the puzzle for the Mid-South that we have that former employee Sally Turner helped us bring to life and helped us dream up. We realized that traveling here is not cheap. Hotels have figured this all out, and some of them are like $300 a night. Flights into town, I've heard, are almost twice as much as normal times. Registration fees are not cheap. Bike maintenance is not cheap. Food is not cheap when you're here, all of these things. And we thought, hey, what if we created a process and we involved some of our sponsors and we took some money out of our operating budget and we created a thing called the Get Here Grant. And so the Get Here Grant is all about bringing 10 individuals here to Stillwater, and we're taking care of all of their needs, all of their travel costs. Our sponsors are giving them free helmets and free gear and free shoes and free nutrition. And Downtown Aspen and Stone Cloud and Empire have given us gift cards to give them. So way back in the fall, we opened up our Get Here Grant participant what's the word I'm looking for? Just the application process. And we got 117 applicants from all over the country. And it was so hard to narrow it down, and some of these are incredibly hard to read, the things that people have gone through, the hope that they have, and the hope that they're putting in themselves, that they believe in themselves, that they could come to the Mid-South and do 12 or 50 miles or 100 miles. And so we read through them, and then we somehow impossibly narrow it down to 10. So last year, we had a woman named Kelly come, and we actually got to sit down and interview with her and kind of tell her story. And so I want to just give you an idea of, we are not just here for the pros. We are not just here for the spectacle of the race. We're not just here for, the affluent people that have the money to travel here. We're truly trying to create a space that is welcoming to literally anyone that thinks that maybe, just maybe, I could do this, or maybe they're not even quite sure they could. And that's what the Get Here Grant is all about. So without further ado, I'm going to hit play on this real quick.
What did I learn about myself, after finishing the whole thing? That I really can do whatever I set my mind to. Learning to listen to your body and take your time is not the most fun thing, but when you accept it, it makes a world of difference, because at the end of the day, that's what matters. Cycling became like the one thing that I could do by myself for myself. And it made such a huge difference in my mental health and in my physical health. But I only started riding 2 years ago, like 2 years ago today. Hang on 1 second. Sorry. 4.5 years ago, I had my son, and I almost died from having an abdominal aortic aneurysm. And everything that you look up online says you only have a 5-year life expectancy after you have one of those. So I was sitting there counting down the days until, like, is it gonna be today? Will I get to see my kid grow up? Will I get to see him turn 5? 3 years ago, I had a CT scan. It was the first time since it all happened that anyone said you're gonna be okay, you're gonna live. So I was like, sweet, I get to, like, you know, watch my kid grow up. I get to keep going.
Good morning.
So are you on for bike ride?
Mommy, I want to go on an adventure.
A year later, I got my bike
You guys gotta follow my lead now.
and I started riding, and was committed to riding however much I could, and ending up with like 150 to 200 miles a week. It can be really, really hard to find time as a mom when you want to be able to ride. It feels so hard, but it makes such a difference for me. I will say, 6 months ago, I had to stop riding. A lot of the time right now, I feel silly for continuing to strive to be at Mid-South. My seasonal depression just I feel like wrecked me. I'm just faking my way through it. I'm pretending to be a cyclist. And on top of that, like, trying to figure out some autoimmune disorders. But my only goal at this point is to make it to Mid-South in a state where I can physically complete the race. My only goal is to finish. None of it felt real until I was on my bike going through the starting line. I was like, oh, we're doing it now. There were multiple times when I was like, you can just push a little bit farther to go to, like, get to the aid station or get to the finish line, but ultimately deciding to stop and honor what my body was telling me, like, hey, you need to stop for a minute.
So how's your ride going so far?
I have already surpassed my longest ride. I'm feeling it, but it's okay. So Mid-South was easily the hardest thing I've ever done, but yeah, I did it. I did the dang thing.
Oh man, it gets me every time I watch it. So we have a whole new group of 10 people with stories just like Kelly's, and the idea being planted by Sally to do this has become one of my absolute favorite things that we're doing at the Mid-South. That we are quite literally making an experience happen for someone that if they didn't have the support, they wouldn't be able to come. They wouldn't believe in themselves potentially to even do it. They may not go and try and do other events, again, because of either financial strain or because they don't think that they could do it, or they're not training enough, or they don't think they're fit enough. And by us giving them the hope of winning this trip, it could change some people's lives, I think. We also, I forgot to say this earlier, but we also have a running portion of the event, and that is happening a week from Friday. And we have a first-time 50K ultra marathon participant, Rachel, in the crowd. How are you feeling about it? Oh, you still have a microphone. This is perfect.
I do.
How are you feeling right now?
Equal parts excited and scared to death.
And 50 kilometers, for those that don't know, is how long?
31 miles.
31 miles. 31 miles, again, it's all southwest of town.
Yeah,
So
yeah, I've looked at the route, actually.
Yeah.
It's a lot of miles.
have you ran any of those hills that are outside of town
No,
yet?
no, I'm waiting to be surprised.
Oh, yeah.
It's very on brand, though, guys, right?
You're going to be surprised.
I told
promise.
Bobby earlier, I feel like he's getting a preview looking at his DFL, which is one of my favorite things of the race. Tell him about your DFL.
Okay, I will. Yes, thank you.
Censored version.
Yes, I can do that. I can definitely do that. So we have 600 runners this year. Yeah, it's like over double what we've ever had. And we opened up a half marathon for the first time. So you guys will all be starting together. So 13.1 or 13.2 miles, and then also the 50K. And yeah, we've never had this many on Friday. So if you don't have anything going on Friday morning, they're leaving at 8 a.m. from 7th and Husband, and I've hired King Cabbage Brass Band. They're the best brass band in Oklahoma, and they are not only here on Saturday morning, but they will also be here on Friday morning. They're a Mardi Gras style big brass band who are blowing up right now. If you know who Zach Bryan is one of the best country artists in the world at the moment, and he started hiring them to do music with them and flew them out to Brooklyn, and they played the BOK show with Zach, and I'm somehow friends with these guys too, and I guess if you pay them a bunch of money, they'll come and do whatever you want. No, they're up and coming, and I'm actually really excited about that. So, okay, so Rachel brings up a great point, DFL. So DFL is our dead last finisher at Mid-South, and I mean, ever since before we even had the event, this is something that when Crystal and I were at other events, a lot of the times our friends were the slow ones, you know, like our friends, myself included, like we were the slower ones, and we weren't winning anything. And so a lot of the times we found ourselves magically at the finish line, even when things were getting torn down, and even whenever people were gone or the timing strip wasn't there anymore. And we decided from year one that would never, ever be the case at Mid-South. And we were like, over time, waiting into the wee hours of the night, and for the first 4 or 5 years, you know, like our internal crew was there, but we were still partying as if they were winning the entire race. Fast forward to last year, and a few people had started kind of like murmurs talking about it, and then a company got a hold of us, a nonprofit group called All Bodies on Bikes, and my friend Marley is the director of All Bodies on Bikes, and she said, hey, what if we teamed up and we sponsored the DFL party? And then our GPS course creation company, Ride with GPS, was like, hey, we would love to do that too, and we'll take care of some drinks at Finnegan's, and we'll just keep the vibes going to the finish line right there by Finnegan's and District until DFL comes. And we thought, oh, sick, this will be amazing. We had no idea what to expect, and 400 people showed up to the DFL party. I think 400, I don't know. It was so insane that Trevor Stewart is our finish line MC, and Trevor and I needed to find each other for whatever reason, and there's so many people. He was on the microphone screaming my name, and we couldn't find each other, and it was within like a 15-foot radius. So DFL is, I would say again, like just like the Get Here grant, to me the DFL defines our ethos and our core values at the deepest level, that every single person matters. No rider, no runner is left behind. No one is left uncelebrated. We do not care who you are, where you are from, how fit you are, how long it takes you. If you get to the cutoff in Guthrie, and the 100 mile is the only portion of our event that has a cutoff, and it's just for safety reasons. But if you get there before Crystal decides to cut it off, we try and say like a 10 mile an hour average, but we never stick to that. It's always slower. If you get there and then you leave and you're prepared, you have lights and you have the things you need, we will wait for you at the finish line until you get there, and my noise permit expires at whatever time, and I'll pay whatever fine I have to pay if we're a little too loud. And it's awesome.
What time's your DFL happen?
So DFL depends on the course, it depends on the year, and it depends on how fast they're going, and it depends on the weather, first and foremost. And I think last year it was around 11 o'clock, and the latest we've ever had is like, 1 a.m. almost. Yeah, in the bad years. 2017 specifically was 36 degrees and raining. We had a 13% finish rate. And yeah, Tom, I think we had like 100 people with hypothermia go to the ER. Yeah, that was not fun. I never, ever want that ever again. I also don't like global warming, but I don't like 36 degrees and rain. So DFL is happening again this year, and a piece of the puzzle that we're putting into the mix with DFL, we've had this band from Kansas City called Bell and the Vertigo Waves play the main stage. They're the last band that plays on Saturday night. They usually get done with their set around 9 p.m. And then our big stage that we rent with the big PA gets packed up, and then they have to leave. They go to Oklahoma City. On the way home from the race last year, Belle, the lead singer of that band, called me, and she was like, I stayed for DFL. I was the only one from the band that stayed and watched Beth come in last. And she's like, it has absolutely blown my mind. And the whole drive home to Kansas City, I've been writing this song called DFL. They have not only completed the song, they went into this unbelievably gorgeous recording studio, have recorded it. We have now co-released it. And now we have a different PA that we're going to set up at the finish line, and we're going to let them play the song when the DFL is crossing the finish line. And then we're going to record this all as a music video too, because as you can tell, we really like media at the Mid-South. We invest in it. So if that's not past your bedtime, I'd say like, I don't know, 10:30, come down, come hang out. A bunch of the pros, we had former Tour de France pros partying with us at the DFL last year that come to the race. 2 of the women that were at the Paris Olympics racing mountain bikes this year have been to the Mid-South, and the road gold champion got 4th place Mid-South 2020, and she was here at Mid-South and got 4th place women at her very first gravel race, which was here. And so we've had current Olympic athletes, former Tour de France pros, and everyone in between all the way to DFO. So next week is when everything starts going down. Beer can release party is at Iron Monk Thursday night at 6, open to the public. Come hang out. We do a custom beer can and custom beer with Iron Monk every year. And then Friday morning, 7:30, the 50K starts. Finish line parties all day long. What I truly want you guys to know about, besides the finish line, all the participants, is that I've invested in live music on the main stage Friday and Saturday, starting at 11:30 a.m. on Friday and at 1 o'clock on Saturday. These are the best musicians that I've ever booked, ever. Absolutely incredible musicians from Atlanta, Georgia, from Milwaukee, from Kansas City, from Stillwater, from Tulsa. Jacob Tovar, Johnny Mullinex, Kaylin Faye, and a band called Soup are all coming from Tulsa, and they all share band members, and they're from 1:30 on Saturday afternoon until 7 p.m. And if that's a time frame that works for you, just come downtown. We'll have food trucks, we'll have beverage vendors, and it's going to be a good time. Last thing I want to show you is that the band Soup that I just mentioned from Tulsa, we had them come to District for a live in studio in the bike shop in our workspace recording. And we have this on YouTube. It's called Live at District. So we're not only doing the bike race, we're not only fixing everybody's flats and selling kids' bikes downtown, but we're also super heavily invested in creating this very specific, very highly, very well done live music recording in the bike shop. Just because, honestly, before bikes, for me, it was music. I've been a musician since I was a kid, and I'm not good at it at all. Not like Tyler, not like Sarah's husband. He's absolutely amazing. And we have a video of Tyler on here as well. But yeah, we're trying to diversify a little bit, so check this out. Oh, I went too far. Oh, there we go. And got it.
I'm incredibly excited to welcome to Live at District for the very first time. Soup from Tulsa, Oklahoma.
Oh. Yep.
All right. A draw in the side might make things seem okay, but a laugh and a smile go a much further way. When it's pity you feel, brother, leave it alone. That's just life on the road. When you a long way from from home. My lady's the loveliest, drives like a dream. Ain't fast, but she's steady, a well-oiled machine. To everybody and their daddy, she a dumb fine thing. Yeah, babe. Mystery man, done a little bit of everything. Take where only he needs. Know what I mean, baby? It's just a regular thing for a man with nothing to learn, nothing to lose. He's got such a cool name for an American fool. Some people want to see you fail, but everybody wants a short answer. Oh, mystery man, done a little bit of everything. Take what only he needs. Know what I mean, babe? Just a regular thing for a man with nothing to learn, nothing to lose. Take what only he needs. Wherever he is. He's got such a cool name for an American fool. All right.
Man, they are so good. They're so good. So you can catch them on the main stage Saturday afternoon. Lots of other stuff going on. Expo on Friday. We've got a huge expo with vendors from the whole industry, from running, from cycling. We've got Joe with Stillwater Medical. And tell them what you're going to be doing at your expo booth.
We're going to have a contest. We're calling it Heart Rate Heroes. For those of you that are not involved in cycling or other fitness activities, when people get in shape, the thing they are most proud of is their heart rate. And the level of that heart rate can be very, very competitive. So we're going to take pulse rates of everybody, and then the lowest three, I haven't talked to Bobby about this, but see what he thinks. We'll get those three up on stage, and I plan to hand them the mic and ask them a question, and while they're responding, we're going to take it again.
Yes, I love it. Yes. Done. That's what we're doing. It's
We are
perfect.
super pumped.
Oh, it's going to be so fun. Yeah, go ahead.
Since the event has become so big now, I think you mentioned second or third largest in the world.
I think so.
Have you got any interest from UCI?
Absolutely. Oh, man, we don't have time for this.
You
What
be-
time are
you
we supposed to be
better-
done?
You better explain who
Yeah,
UCI
I will. So UCI is the International Cycling Governing Body, and the UCI is who is behind the sanctioning of the biggest, all the Olympics, the Tour de France, all of the spring classics. Unfortunately, a lot of the UCI involvement in the United States has really, really, really dropped a lot. But where that's dropped is where our off-road, non-sanctioned, independently owned, or not so independently owned anymore, gravel races are kind of taking over that spot. I got invited to a 3-day get-together with USAC, so United States of America Cycling Association, who is the United States arm of the UCI, back in January of 2020, and so it was just before the pandemic, and they invited 8 of us, of the biggest gravel road races on the planet. All of us were there, all the promoters in Bentonville, and they tried their best, man. And I just sat there and was like, what on earth does the UCI and USAC have to offer me that is going to make me confine my sanctioning, my rules? I have to pass on results to other people. And they basically were just dangling this carrot in front of us. They were like, no matter what you do and no matter what you say, the UCI will be creating their own international gravel world championships, and each one of you could have a race that is a part of or even could be the UCI gravel world championship race. And I was just like, I am not interested whatsoever. We are independently owned. We are independently operated. I play by no one's rules. DFL would not even be a thing, wouldn't even exist. There would be all these different categories that I have to mirror from other events. Like we wouldn't be able to do what we do at all. And then I joined in on 3 Zoom calls after that where they were still just kind of like clawing at everybody. And I just told everyone, finally was like, yo, like I really appreciate you inviting me to the table on this, but I couldn't be less interested, and I won't be back for any more of these calls. And none of those races in the U.S. are a part of the UCI in any way. A few of them are getting competitive enough and big enough and giving payouts and paying the pros, which we are not doing. And now the World Anti-Doping Association is now a part of some of those. So WADA, World Anti-Doping Association, they test for drugs, basically. And they're showing up at Unbound 200, the 200-mile gravel road race, because they've got the Lifetime Grand Prix, which is 8 of their events, and they have a $250,000 prize purse on the line. And now, like when you start to put things into it, it changes things. I don't think it makes it better or worse. I think it makes it worse, actually. And I'm not trying to diminish what the pros do, but that's not what the Mid-South is about. I'm so thankful that they're here and they're coming, and we have almost 200 pros coming, which is cool. Thank you guys for coming. Sorry, I know I'm going over time. Yeah, awesome. Good to see you guys. Thanks a lot. I appreciate it.
So, could you tell us what is the oldest who has participated in this race and the youngest over the past since you started?
Dang it. I think oldest is Tyson Branyan from Cushing, Oklahoma. Does anybody here know Tyson Branyan? Yeah, I think that's the case. Tyson Branyan is, man, I think he's 8, is he 81 now? Is he not quite that old yet? He's mid-70s? Okay, so then we've had someone older than Tyson then. Don't tell him I said that, by the way. I think for sure we've had a woman that was 79 and fit as a fiddle. And the youngest 100-mile finisher, I believe, is my friend's son, Benin, and I believe he was 9 when he finished the 100-mile. Yeah, and then he did the double when he was 12. And the double is running the 50K ultramarathon on Friday, and then you ride the 100-mile on Saturday. And his son, Benin, did that
on that,
a couple
Bobby,
years ago.
How many people run the race and then turn around and do the bike?
So the double we cap at 200, and over the last few years we haven't hit that. We've been around like 180, and this year we capped it at 200. Now we have 222 people doing both, because of course we just keep letting people in. Oh, I will. So awards. So Tom brought up a good. We partnered with Prairie Arts this year, and they're made wild clay out of our red dirt from here. And I wish I had a photo to show you. And then Kicker took an image that we had made and CNC'd a stamp. And so the awards are about this big, and they're Oklahoma Stillwater red dirt clay, made right here in town and then hand stamped. And what I've done in the past is Stillwater Steel would cut me steel, and then Brady, the new city manager, Brady, had a laser up above Summit that he bought a long time ago, and we would just have them lasered right there in downtown and give them away, which we thought was really fun. But this partnership they're so cool, dude. They turned out so cool. It's from Block 34? I didn't know that. I should know that. I do know. Josh, our media guy, Josh, that is in charge of all of our photography and video, he's been working with Ron really closely, and man, we just want to keep it, we want to make this as Stillwater as we possibly can, and I think we're doing it. Awesome.
This isn't so much a question as it is a comment. Bobby is still the only person that's ever come to the county and said, please don't gravel the roads. Please don't grade the roads. So for all of you that live on county roads in the next 2 weeks, you can blame Bobby. Don't call the county commissioners, which is now Rachel's husband.
I just don't want any special treatment. I didn't want to spend any extra money from the county. I'm trying to save us money. That's what
Bobby, thank you very much.
Thank you so much.